Hello and welcome back to Oak City. This is our Plains and Prairies episode, going to be 41. Getting flown overhead by some birds there, shadows. So it is going to be the kickoff of our March Madness planting. We are going to have around 500 acres or more of ground to get planted this month, somewhere in that ballpark anyway. So without wasting a lot of time, we're going to jump right in the tractor and head out. We did turn around and get a bunch of things finished up last month. Finished off our sales, puts us at around 1.6 million after getting everything in. We do have sales to make this month, but we do also have quite a bit of money to spend this month. We have a build project in mind after we can get the planters and seeders underway, as like I said, we have tons of acres to get planted and or seeded, so not gonna waste a lot of time messing around there. One we do know that we're gonna have is the field up here. Why is that? Wait a minute. Why does that look weird when it comes to... Yeah, no idea. Doesn't need lime, so everything's good there. We're not gonna fiddle with it too much, just turn around and get this one dropped into the field here, as this field is gonna take quite a bit of time. We'll start with the up and downs. Actually, let's start with the hedgerow on this field just to make sure everything goes decent. Probably, actually, let me see, reset that. Let's do 2 hedgerows. Start with the hedgerows. It's not going to turn around. Okay, cancel the job. Now go in there. There we go. 2 hedgerows, bam, and send it. That way we can get away from the fences or any other issues we have. We know we're really close to fence lines over there, and how all that side works is a little tight. So we'll just turn around and get that one going, and then we're going to turn around and set up our next cedar as well. So we'll just let this one, maybe if it's going to get started, that's something in here. That's an awkward way for the AI to start, but it's starting nonetheless, and up and running. Oats are going in. Obviously filled up the cedar, 25,000 liters of fertilizer, 50,000 on seeds. Just going to kind of come in to see where this field, how much it takes, honestly, to get this field planted. 300 plus acres here, so this is going to be a time-consuming project, and we'll just kind of keep checking in on this one as it goes. Here we are, just pulling the second seeder out into the field here. We are going to turn around and get this one also set up on the headlands. This is our new field here. So where we had peas in the other field over there last year, we're going to try to keep our field, we're going to try to keep rotating fields when we possibly can. See our other planter working over there in the distance. This is where it's going to get into one of its issues, if it's going to have an issue, because that's where the fences are. Alright, it seems like it's actually going to be dealing with the fence over there, maybe. Okay, so we'll just kind of let it do its thing. You can see it still hasn't even made it halfway around the hedgerow on that field, which is kind of crazy. Or about halfway. A little over halfway with the hedgerow on that field. Going to be a giant field there. 300 acres plus of oats we're going to get in this year. That field there, the main priority is really going to be getting it set up for the crop for next year. That's going to be one of our big field. I think we're going to try to get canola in that thing next year, which is going to let us just do one field of canola. We're going to have to get canola into the big fields, is going to be the idea there. This one should be a decent sized pea field. I would assume we're going to yield more than we do off of this one, and we already know that we get a decent yield for everything that we need. All intents and purposes, it takes care of our industries. This one we will try to watch the hedgerow here. I think how it's going to deal with this up the hill here, excuse me, and then the look as we come around the field there up on top is actually pretty good. So we'll just kind of stick with this one for a bit of a minute here. Nice little ride along, head on. We'll see the hill there, decent sized hill for sure. And how much effort is it going to take to get up it? Yeah, a little bit. Drop in gear, no big deal there. Again, you get a nice look back at the field. This field I actually am really starting to like just by working the field and liming it. Is kind of cool. There's also a skeleton bones of cattle out in the field here. I'm sure we'll see it at some point, or we'll try to get a look at it when we plant that area. It is kind of neat, something I've never seen in any of the maps before, but it's a skeleton in the ground, so kind of interesting there. Not gonna quite plant the corner all the way, but again, not a big problem there. There's plenty of acres. One consistent hedgerow line up to here, so two lines to actually get around the hedgerow on this one. That's what it was when I was liming it anyway. So we'll get that, then we'll just drop over the edge here, and then the plan will be to go turn around and grab the third planter and get that out going. There we go. This, once this starts growing, should give us just a great look down on the field. Much bigger field than I originally thought. Honestly, I was kind of just thinking this was another small little veggie field, but it's going to actually prove out to be a decent sized field. Looking forward to the yield on this one, so we'll turn around and just keep up to date with where that one is. You can see we're still working around on the oat hedgerow there. Probably going to actually get, yeah, it's going to be a toss-up. Both hedgerows probably get done about the same time. But we'll turn around and grab that other planter that is, and get that out in the field as well. And there we are, unpacking the third and final seeder that we have. This one is going to turn around and do our potatoes, or that is the idea. Actually, let's make this so this doesn't have such a big fit over taking over where we have it sitting. We'll do something like that. And then again, we'll probably just set it to 2 hedgerows. And we'll start with the headlands. This one is our special versatile planter. So this one totally botted out to do pretty much everything. Gonna do potatoes in this case. So let's turn around and get that started. By next year, we would have the money and the space and all the rest of that to go with the original style planters, stuff like that, if we feel like it, or if we want to go down that road, we definitely could. This one's going to rip through potatoes. Also, we didn't have any way to store potatoes, so we were still going to be planting the seed this year in any case. So storage, definitely a thing that we have to work on, which is what our 1.5 million. Obviously, you can see we're down a little bit this month. We had performed a bunch of maintenance so far, so that's definitely affecting our money runs. as you can see it, and then obviously buying seed fertilizer. We didn't actually have to buy fertilizer, we had to buy a ton of seed. As you can see, flying through the seed here on the potatoes, but we're actually getting the potatoes planted pretty darn quick too versus how fast those go. So then we'll turn around and take a peek over here. We are through the first hedgerow on the oats and getting on to it. The peas are flying right along. I anticipate that field obviously is going to be our first one done, barring some major incident. Turn around and just kind of take a look at the run here. Kind of surprised in the process of clearing this field. I don't think we actually found any like collectibles. If we did, it was one, so nothing major there. Still quite a few collectibles out there on the map to be found. At some point, I don't know, we may actually even just put in a mod to go find the collectibles on the map, make it a lot easier to do that kind of thing. But I think we'll wait until we get everything plowed up and just see what we find as we go. Cruise along there. So potatoes going in. We still have sunflowers for sure. Sunflowers, sugar beets, all these got to get planted yet this month. So really just getting things underway. Obviously we're going to have a ton of rolling to do after everything gets in the ground. So just kind of cruise along. We also have a bunch of sales and a build. I think we'll probably, while we have everything planting, we'll jump over and take a look at our build project for the month. Alright, so here we are over in the empty field. Well, it's an empty section of the field. We did turn around and leave this piece kicked off here. We do have opening in the fence line over here, so easy access to this. This is just off the main road and not a lot going on back here, so I think we are going to kind of turn around and turn this into an extra storage place. So I do think we have to come in, flatten out some of the ground, and then get to adding a few new fixtures in here. Alright, so we have turned around and dropped a little red silo in here. By little, it's not really little, holds a lot more than it looks like it would, but it's a 10 million liter storage capacity on that one, and we're going to use that one red for like root crops, odds and ends that won't go in our grain silos. And then we did turn around and add the massive base game, I think it's 16 million liter storage capacity silo group there. So we do have a nice run platform for it here. This is going to turn around and take care of all of our storage now, so we won't be forced to sell at harvest time. We'll be able to hold things and sell at peak prices. That was just something that we ran into last season where we couldn't hold a lot of stuff. We had to sell it, so we only have like our industry stuff in holding. Kind of take a look at where things are coming out. Pea field is probably 3/4 of the way done there. Oats, obviously, a long way to go there, but making progress for sure. And then the potato field is done, so we're going to turn around and jump over to that quick. And then I think we'll send this one over for our sugar beets, I believe, are the next one that has to go in. And we will go ahead and use the specialty planter for that. And it doesn't look, actually, it does look like we're going to have to take this one back to the farm. So for all the 50,000 liters of seeds in that one, when it comes to potatoes, it actually sucked the whole thing up on that field, or just about the whole thing. Looks like we have 4,000 liters left. So before we turn around and drop it in there, we'll turn around and go top this off with seeds, and then there we can see off in the distance, we'll turn around and jump over this. Take a look quick off at our pile of bones out here in the field. doesn't affect, planting or rolling or anything. It doesn't affect the equipment in any way, but there we go. So you can see the old cattle out here in the field. Just kind of thought it was cool. Unique. Can't pick it up. It's not a collectible. It's not anything like that. It's just kind of a fixture. At least for now, as far as I know, that's all it is. So just about done there with the pea field. Oats still has tons to go, as we would expect. And then the sugar beets making good headway. So moving along pretty good. And the month's still plenty to do, and so here we are with our first load of sales for the month. We have our aged goat cheese up front there. We have the Gorgonzola cheese, and then we have all of our preserved food there. So we'll be, did not need to do that. So we'll be running these over for the sale, and then that's going to turn around and leave us the grain and apples selling on a high this month, so we will be selling apple juice out for sure. Probably should have just snuck it onto this load, but honestly, there's enough in here. So we'll turn around and just try to get a look at what the aged goat cheese, 208. So again, not bad there for that. 307 on the Gorgonzola cheese, and then we'll grab out the rest. 178,000, so almost 800,000 in sales off our normal go-tos. And then we will, the apples, I don't anticipate anything super shiny there coming off of the apples, and the grain stuff there just kind of normal numbers. And we do still have some other stuff that we can turn around and sell and move across this month, as we were kind of on the broke there with 150,000, but now pushing close to $1 million. I'm sure we'll be doing okay, but we'll just turn around and get the rest of this stuff sold off and then see where we're at with our field progress. Righty, here we are swinging into some of our final tasks for the month. We do have the sales all in. We are getting most of our planting and seeding in. We are going to turn around and also come in and fertilize the cotton field that we got planted last month. So that's going to take a bit. I mean, that's 200 some acres. We actually probably could use 2 sprayers on this one. So I'll probably sneak over, grab another one of the sprayers and head it out here just so that we can get that done on one trip. And then you can see here we are closing in on the finish for the oat field planting wise. I mean, closing in on the finish, still about a third of the field there, right? So about 100 acres left to go, and then we're rolling up on the soy, or on the sunflower field, excuse me. And that's just kind of where we're at progress wise this month. Still quite a bit to get done, but all right, here we are bringing in the second of our 2 rollers into the field. We will turn around and be sticking this in the oat field. We've gotten pretty much everything else done. We do not need to work the headlands. We are just on up and downs. Let's turn around and see if we can get that going. Yeah, gonna be going. Sweet. Not exactly sure why that looks like it's still got lime on it over there. You would have thought that would have all been covered in the plant, but who knows, maybe they missed a little piece there. Still have the one planter here working on rolling. Other than that, let's look at soil composition here quick. You can see it's just done the head row and got 1 row across, so jumping the second roller in there going to certainly help us get things done. We got the fertilizing done there on the cotton field. Rolling is done on the sunflowers. We don't have to roll either one of these. Or wait a minute. Yeah, we do. We had to roll the sugar beets. We do not need to roll the potatoes. That's the thing there. So actually all of our rolling now done. Once this is done, that's it. That's going to complete the month. Sales are done, and then we will just have another big push through April and May coming up. But I think for the most part, for the month of March and our March Madness Mayhem getting our planting really into the full swing of things, I think we are going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions to Frequency sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.